As a species, we're getting older and living longer. Snapping up or adding to your positions in these healthcare stocks could be just what the doctor ordered for your portfolio. Eli Lilly. Lilly brought in revenue of $28.5 million in 2022, but should do even better this year. Ardelyx. Analysts believe that Ardelyx's kidney disease drug could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in annual revenue. Geron. Geron stock is up 47% over the last 3 months, and the consensus opinion of analysts is that it could go up another 77%. Acadia Healthcare. Acadia is the largest standalone behavioral healthcare company in the U.S. ADNA Biologics. Hedge funds are piling into ADNA stock. Maybe you should too. American Shared Hospital Services. American Shared Hospital Services stock trades on the New York Stock Exchange American Exchange, which is for small-cap companies. Veeam Healthcare. Sleep apnea affects as many as 30 million people in the U.S., although only about 6 million are diagnosed. Let's dive in. Here are the 7 A-rated healthcare stocks to buy for the future of medicine. Welcome to Timely Investment Research. If you're not investing in healthcare stocks these days, you may be missing out on a huge opportunity. Consider this. We are getting older and living longer as a species. The World Health Organization says that by 2030, 1 in 6 people on Earth will be at least 60 years old. With an aging population comes more medical issues, either ailments that weaken the bodies or medications and treatments to hold off the aging process as long as possible. We'll be needing and using more drugs as we get older, we'll rely more on medical professionals, and spend more of our incomes on healthcare. That's why the time is now to capitalize on this trend. Snapping up or adding to your positions in these healthcare stocks could be just what the doctor ordered, if you are hoping to get a little richer, that is. Number 1. Eli Lilly. Drug maker Eli Lilly is coming off a strong 2022, where it showed gains of 35%. While it's been in consolidation mode so far this year, there are indications that the stock may just be taking a breather before going on another run. The company's Mounjaro drug for diabetes is making noise as a possible treatment for obesity. Something like that could bring huge profits for Eli Lilly stock. Lilly is also working on new drugs that could be launched as early as this year to treat Alzheimer's disease, Crohn's disease, atopic dermatitis, and mantle cell lymphoma. Lilly brought in revenue of $28.5 million in 2022, but should do even better this year. The company guided for 2023 revenue to be in a range from $30.3 billion to $30.8 billion, with a gross margin of 77%. Number 2. Ardelyx. Biotech company Ardelyx has been making some big moves as of late on the strength of its flagship Tenofovir drug candidate. Marketed under the name Xphozah, this drug treats kidney disease. Xphozah has already gotten approval from a Food and Drug Administration panel, and it's expected to get full regulatory approval in the U.S. True, Ardelyx is still a penny stock, with a price of less than $3.50. The stock price has been on the move over the last 6 months, gaining more than 270%. As I said before, a 270% gain in a penny stock is just as good as a 270% gain in a large cap stock. Analysts believe that Ardelyx's kidney disease drug could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in annual revenue. It already gets about $20 million a year by selling Tenofovir as a treatment for irritable bowel syndrome. Number 3. Geron. Geron also has a promising drug candidate. Its imetelstat medication, which recently had a successful phase 3 clinical trial, appears to be on track for approval for the treatment of lower-risk myelodysplastic syndromes. On top of that, Geron is studying if imetelstat can also be used for other types of treatment, such as for refractory myelofibrosis or other related disorders. Geron thinks that its imetelstat sales could reach as much as $3 billion annually by 2030. That's a huge number for a stock that has a market cap of just $1.3 billion right now. Geron stock is up 47% over the last 3 months, and the consensus opinion of analysts is that it could go up another 77% in the next year. Number 4. Acadia Healthcare. Based in Tennessee, Acadia Healthcare operates facilities in 39 states and Puerto Rico, with more than 10,800 beds in 246 locations. Its facilities help people with behavioral problems, post-traumatic stress disorder, eating disorders, and substance abuse. It's the largest standalone behavioral healthcare company in the U.S. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that 1 in 25 adults in the U.S. suffers from a serious mental illness. But there's a gap in services because often insurance doesn't cover such care, or Medicaid reimbursements don't fully cover the cost of treatment. According to the New York Times, staff vacancies in public mental health clinics can run as high as 30%. Acadia Company recently laid out a 5-year plan that will prioritize joint ventures in an effort to double revenue. CFO David Duckworth says the company has identified 100 metro areas as potential expansion locations because they don't have enough behavioral health beds. So far, it's a profitable business. Acadia regularly beats analysts' estimates for earnings and revenue. It's guided for full-year 2022 revenue to be between $2.58 billion to $2.60 billion, an increase in 2023 to a range of $2.79 billion to $2.86 billion. Number 5. Adianea Biologics. Adianea Biologics is known for its plasma-derived treatments for patients who suffer from compromised immune systems. It manufactures treatments for people who are either naturally or medically immunocompromised for certain infections. The stock has been on a tear in recent months, up 86% since August 2022. Barclays recently increased its bet on Adianea stock, increasing the percentage of shares it owns by 316% by buying another 356,000 shares. Overall, Barclays has a $1.1 million interest in Adianea, which is significant for a company with a market cap of less than $800 million. Hedge funds AWM Investment Company, BlackRock, State Street Corp, and Northern Trust Corp also increased their holdings of Adianea last year. The company announced that it expects fourth quarter earnings to be in the range of $49 million to $50 million, which would be a jump of 89% from a year ago. Full-year revenue is expected to come in a range of $153 million to $154 million, which would be an increase of 90% from 2021. Number 6. American Shared Hospital Services. Based in San Francisco, American Shared Hospital Services leases medical equipment to hospitals and medical centers in the U.S. and overseas. Its products include equipment for radiosurgery, proton beam radiation therapy, intensity-modulated radiation therapy, and image-guided intensity-modulated radiation therapy. It partners with some of the best-known facilities in the world, including Johns Hopkins Medical Center in Baltimore, Yale New Haven Hospital in Connecticut, and Tufts Medical Center in Boston. The stock has been on a roll as of late, rising 30% in the last 6 months. Earnings for the third quarter included revenue of $4.83 million, which was an increase of 17.8% from a year ago. Number 7. ViiMed Healthcare. Louisiana-based ViiMed Healthcare provides in-home medical equipment, including respiratory disease management, home sleep testing, sleep apnea treatment, oxygen therapy services, and more. Sleep apnea affects as many as 30 million people in the U.S., although only about 6 million are diagnosed, according to the American Medical Association. That leaves a healthy runway of prospective patients for ViiMed. Revenue in the third quarter was $35.76 million, which was an increase of 22.1% from a year ago. The company beat analysts' estimates for $34.8 million in revenue but missed earnings per share estimates of 4 cents per share by a penny. ViiMed Healthcare stock is up 38% over the last 6 months. Thanks for spending some time with us today, Timely Investment Research. We're so glad you did. If you found value in today's video, please give us a like, hit that bell icon to never miss an upload, and hey, don't forget to subscribe.